Hey, what's up, everybody? Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast. Thanks for joining me for another brand new episode. Today's features my buddy, singer-songwriter Tony M Hall. Had a great time hanging with Tony over at Phat Buddha a little bit ago. Big thanks to Phat Buddha for their support and letting us record this one over there. But I had a lot of fun hanging with Tony, talking about his new record, All Seriousness Aside, talking about new Nick Gusman stuff that they're working on. He's part of Nick Gusman and the Coyotes, and they're getting ready to head over to do a little bit of a European run. So I'm very excited for those guys to get out there and see some more of the world. But we're talking all about Tony on this episode. And check out his new record, and you're going to get a little sneak peek at it today, including a couple of live acoustic songs. And hope you enjoy it. Do want to remind you, as always, Rock Paper Podcast is brought to you by Friendship Brewing Company in Wentzville, Missouri. Serving up all your craft beer needs. Over 25 rotating taps out there. And, of course, you can stop in and get a tasty beverage. You got your wonderful food menu full of burgers and nachos and pretzels and flatbread pizzas and salads and whatever you might be needing. And, of course, there's always some great live music on the weekends. Come on out there and sit on the patio, enjoy the fall weather this weekend with Matt Waltershed on Friday night, September 30th. And Denver Wade Trent, Saturday, October 1st. And first things first, Sunday, October 2nd, 1 to 4. Again, you can find their full beer menu, food menu, concert calendar, and everything else you might need at friendshipbrewingcompany.com. And be sure to follow along with them on your Facebook and Instagram. Also, big thank you to my friends at Roughneck Beard Company and American Rambler for their continued support. Stop in and visit them in the Maplewood area on Manchester, or shop 24/7 at roughneckbeardcompany.com. It's officially beard season. The weather is cooling off and it's prime time for growth. Whether you are keeping it growing or growing it out for the first time, Roughneck Beard Company products make it better. Eliminate the itch and set the stage for a faster, fuller growth with Roughneck's full line of beard oils, balms, washes, and nutrient sprays. Find it all at roughneckbeardcompany.com today and use my code RPP15 for an exclusive 15% off your purchase. Again, including all your favorite beard oils, balms, their junk powder, their soaps, their combs, their Roughneck beard batter, whatever you might need to take care of that beard and mustache of yours, you can find it at roughneckbeardcompany.com. If you need anything else from me, you can always find me at rockpaperpodcast.com. Hit me up on the socials. Email me at rockpaperpodcast@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. And with that out of the way, sit back and relax and enjoy a brand new episode with Tony Hall, y'all.
A podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio. It's on the internet. Does that make sense? Uh-huh. Yeah. That's also like my mom. It makes it sound more confusing, doesn't it? It sounds like this.
Hey, this is Tony Hall, and you, my friend, are listening to Rock Paper Podcast. Oh, baby.
Rock Paper Podcast.
This is beat paper, paper covers rock. Rock beats is the Shane covers non-stop. Never know what new kind of guest that he's got coming at you. Live and direct on the spot. Could be rock, folk, country, or hip-hop, jazz. All kind of folks that he has. Could be an artist or a comedian to make you laugh on the
Rock Paper Podcast.
Double-decker fudge round, rolling round town. Shane coming at you live and direct from ground zero. He's your hero, he's your bestie. Rock Paper Podcast with Shane Presley.
Rock Paper Podcast.
Hey, everybody. Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast, coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri. Hanging out at Phat Buddha with Tony Hall. Welcome to the show, man.
What's up, Shane?
This is, man, this is cool. I'm really glad to be here. A big shout out to Phat Buddha for letting us spend some time here today and record this. And
Yeah, thank you very much. This is nice.
yeah. And, yeah, man, it's been a long time coming. Me and you, we've been friendly for quite a while now. I think we met originally through the Coyotes stuff.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Coming to the shows and stuff.
Right.
And I've been in the Coyotes for about 4 or 5 years now, so
Yeah.
it's been a while.
And you guys have been a part of some cool shows with me,
Debstock.
including my Debstock, and
Dude, that was a banger.
yeah, that was a great day, and for a lot of fun for a good cause, getting to raise some money for some others fighting brain cancer and stuff. So I'm like, I'm hoping to keep that going here. I'm actually, I think, well, maybe exclusive. I don't know. I haven't really told him much about it. But I think I'm gonna hold.
Are you unrevealing some big news?
Maybe.
Or revealing some big news? Dang, while I'm on the podcast?
Nothing's official, but I think what I'm gonna do is move it to May, because May is actually Brain Cancer Awareness Month.
Oh, yeah, sure. That makes sense.
And it just happened to be that we did September with Mom, and then we did November in 21 because that was when we was available to get in there. Well, I guess things kind of lightened up with COVID protocols and everything else, and was able to safely have fun again. And so I've never really been committed to doing it in the fall, but it seemed like it makes more sense to move it to May and more, try to build more of a national exposure, be able to get some more press behind it, being that it's the cause and everything. So
Right, yeah. If everybody's already aware of it, and then the show's going on at the same time,
I think it could work out.
that's a good match.
Yeah. So anyway, but that's my plan. So hopefully look out for May of 23.
I'm on the lookout.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah, man.
Hopefully, if we can get on it again.
Yeah. Well, I might know a guy. So, yeah.
Dude, put in a good word.
Yeah, all right. But yeah, dude, so we've been buddies for a while, like I said, but I've never really got to sit down like this and talk and get to know more of the story of Tony Hall. So that's what's fun about this podcast and why I continue to keep doing it. I love kind of deep diving into some of this stuff. And so I guess take me back to the beginning, man. Like, what's so St. Louis
Back
always
to
been
the
home?
beginning. I grew up in Cedar Hill,
Yeah.
and that is about an hour south of here. Small town, little rural area. And then I moved to the city in probably like 2010, 2011, and haven't gone back since.
Yeah. What did the music bring you to the city, or was it work or
No,
family or?
I had a buddy who got a house down in Clifton Heights, and he needed a roommate.
There you go.
And so I just moved down there with him. And then I met my wife a couple of years later, and then we got a house, and
Yeah.
now I think I'm stuck here for life. I don't think I'm ever going back.
Yeah.
Although I'm trying to convince her. I would like to go back sometime, but it would be hard because there's not a lot of shows, on Cedar Hill. You can't drive that far every weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel like I like where I'm at. I grew up out in Wentzville.
Oh yeah, man, you're way far away.
And it's like a 45-minute drive to downtown, but I don't know. I mean, I'm used to it. It's all I know. So it's like I've always known of having to drive pretty good while to get anywhere. So.
And I hear Wentzville's blowing up too, man.
It's nutty out there. Yeah, it's probably too much, really. Yeah. Not to get too distracted, but it's the infrastructure of the city is not built to hold the amount of people that live out there now. It's just not ideal for the amount of traffic out there.
Yeah, we started going out there, and when I was playing in a punk band, it's called Irie. And it was like, I think it was the Midwest Music Pit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I spent a lot of time there in high school and stuff.
Yeah, man. And we used to go out there. And I remember it being like a real small town. And now you go out there and it's just built up and there's tons of stuff.
Yep.
But I had some pretty good times at that Midwest Music Pit.
Yeah. Yeah, it was some wild nights over there. And I like that there's a lot of little places around in these towns like that. And, it's a good place to get your start. It's like giving high school kids and younger people like that an opportunity to actually play on a stage and get in front of their friends and stuff and actually do it. So like I said, that's where some of my earliest concert memories are, going to see my friends in high school bands starting to play over there and stuff. So, but yeah, man,
a lot of punk bands,
yeah,
a lot of metal bands,
right?
Dude, it's so funny how like everybody that plays in this like country Americana scene now, like 3/4 of everybody started playing in punk bands, and then graduated like to this Americana music.
We gotta slow this thing down a little bit.
Yeah, right.
Getting too old for that.
Yeah, man, we gotta take it back a little bit. I still got a lot of friends who do it, and I still really enjoy the music, and I would like to do it more, but it's kind of tough being like a middle-aged man, 30s. You don't have the same kind of juice you did when you were a kid to get up on stage and just let it rip. Yeah. If I headbang for even a couple songs, dude, my neck is sore for 3 days.
Right.
But
yeah, I often laugh at like the same kind of thing. Like a lot of these old rockers are now country guys. Like you're even though like they weren't like what huge rock, but like Poison, like Bret Michaels is now like a kind of more of a country singer thing. It's like all of them just like slowed it down just a little bit, and drop. Some of them don't sing quite as high anymore, so they drop the key down a little bit, and it's like
that's pretty. I mean, that's kind of how like me and Nick got started. We started playing, and it wasn't really a punk band, but the Moon Glampers, and that's how I met Nick. Is through a mutual friend, Tom Mannion. He had got us together, and we played like it wasn't punk, but it was rock. We played a lot, and it was fast, and it was cool. And then Nick wanted to slowly start doing like singer songwriter stuff, and he broke off and started doing his own thing, but kept all the same guys from the Moon Glampers in his new band. And it was just kind of hard to make it work.
Yeah.
Because we would have 2 band practices together in one night, or 2 band practices a week. But
well, I feel like what the sound evolved into, what is now Nick Gusman and the Coyotes, like kind of embodies a lot of that. Like you guys, you have the rock songs.
Yeah, we do have some rockers.
And then you have those like country ballads and those. So it's like a wide variety of sound coming out of one band. And
right, some of those where Nick just serenades the crowd, for 4 minutes.
Yeah,
gets everybody tears welling up in their eyes and stuff.
Yeah.
And then we bring the thunder for a couple of them,
Yeah.
Which is cool, and I think we still like to do that too. I like it. It's good to have a good mix.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's some of my favorite stuff, and but yeah, I love that. Especially like listening to like your guys' latest album, like it takes you on a journey, man. There's all over the place, so it's fun when you can get that much different stuff out of one collection of songs.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. That's kind of when I was writing my album, I was thinking about that the whole time. Like, it's got to have some variety on it. And plus, I just like a lot of variety. Everything from hip hop to funk to country to punk. Like I love it all. Everybody does. If you ask anybody what their favorite kind of music is, they always say, "Well, I like all kinds of music."
Right.
Because everybody does. Whatever hits you.
Sure. Yeah. And for me, like I get asked a lot, like, what's your favorite? And it's like I'm like, shit, it changes every day. Like I don't know.
Right.
It's just, some days I'm feeling this vibe, and then some days I'm, want to get a little rowdy or whatever. It's just like
Shane, I had some hard hitting questions for you for the podcast, but as I was thinking about him last night, I was like, he's done almost 1,000 of these podcasts. There's no questions that I'm gonna be able to ask him that he hasn't already got like 10 times. So. I'm not going to ask him right now. I'm going to wait, I'm going to wait to fire him off.
All right.
See if something good comes up.
Tony's question segment.
Yeah. Switch the interview up, man.
There we go.
There should be. Did you ever do a podcast where they just interview you?
No. I mean, like,
I always look at these like as a conversation. It's not really an interview. It's just a hang.
just a hang.
Right. So there was parts of me in all these shows, and so I feel like anybody that's been following along for a while, you've heard all my dumb stories. Like I don't have that many, So it's like, so you've heard everything over a span of some of these shows, and it's like, so as far as me, like I don't mind doing interviews with other people on their shows and things, but as far as like interviewing me on my show, I feel like a lot of the information's probably already been on there.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah.
I got nothing. I get no hard hitting question that's gonna, floor you or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, we can try. Maybe you never know.
I'm gonna keep them in my back
There you
pocket just
go.
in case.
Yeah. But you so take me again back where you started with was Moon. You said what, Erie?
Irie.
Was that one of the first bands or?
But there was a punk band before that. It was called Sacrifice Theory, and we just played in a trailer. It's like I was on drums, and it was me, my best friend Chris Willie, and a guy named Cody Becker. And then it didn't last very long. I ended up moving to bass, and Chris stayed on guitar. Chris wrote a lot of the songs. I would help with some of them, but we formed Irie with Jesse Payne and Chris Nays on drums, and Robert Wood also played drums on some of it. And that was a big part of my life, man. We played from the time I was like 17 to 25, 26. We didn't do like a lot of out-of-state shows, or we didn't do one out-of-state show, to be honest with you. But we played a lot, but we kind of like based our whole thing on just partying.
Yeah.
We partied way too hard, way too much. And even when it came to practices, and it just wasn't very sustainable.
Yeah.
And then that kind of fell apart, and it's kind of like this. At the same time, one of the band's best friend was our buddy Clint Mannion, and Clint had a brother Tom Mannion who did acoustic duo stuff with Nick, and that's who introduced me and Nick. Like I'd go see them play a little duo stuff, and then one day, Tom was like, "Hey, me and Nick are forming a band with Tom's cousin Dan Moody, and we need a bass player." And I was like, "Yeah, sign me up." I've seen you guys play. I've seen some of Nick's songs, and Irie was fizzing out, and I joined Moon Glampers, and we played for like 5 or 6 years until Nick started forming, his solo project,
Right.
and it kind of just carried on from that.
So drums, bass. You got a guitar with you today.
Yeah.
Keys.
Well, keys actually started because when Nick formed his solo project, he had an organ sitting in his house, and he had got, I don't know if you remember Uncle Dave, Old Man Dave. I forget what band he was in, man, but it was a kind of a well-known band. I think he played with Jesse Irwin a lot.
Okay.
And he got him on bass, and I could play a little bit of keys because when I was a janitor at the nursing home, there was a piano there, and I used to play it all the time. I just spent... You do custodial work, so there's some free time, dude. And,
Right.
And at night, and I was a nighttime janitor too, man, and I would just spend my nights playing this piano, so... when Nick started going to his solo stuff, I was like, dude, please let me play keys. I was like, I think I can hang. And then he gave me a shot, man. And I tried not to waste it. I practiced, a lot to be able to hang with these guys. And, as the band eventually got better, you got Garrett and Sean and even Nick, dude, they're all just murderers on their instruments, so I got to keep up with them. So I've gotten better, still nowhere even close, but just that chance right there, that that day that Nick let me get on his organ and start messing around, dude, it really changed my life, because I think it really also kind of opened up my ears to music. Once you play the keys, you can, you get a little bit better understanding of how music theory works, and I think my focus kind of shifted from partying to having a good time to really trying to understand music. And I think it really helped me with the album too, because now I could put together some songs. I still can't sing, but I think I can sing better than when I could have before I started playing.
Yeah. I think my first introduction to you singing, I recall I think we became friendly on Facebook and stuff. And then like, I remember you posted some video like
Probably biscuits and gravy.
Yeah, I was trying to actually like dig it up. I was trying to like go back and I couldn't find it. But I was like, I remember there was one of you like just on a cell phone and like playing, and I was just like, dude, like this is really like there's something here. Like it's fun, it's catchy. Like
Yeah, I was so nervous about that. That was the first time they wouldn't give me a microphone. And Irie, Moon Glampers. I also played in another band called Your New Favorite T-Shirt, and it's kind of like a rock reggae band. And it's Matt Green and Jared Richardson and Jeremiah Skaggs. And that was a time from like my mid-20s to we actually still kind of jam today. And we're trying to get a record done, but it's hard because everybody's a dad.
Yeah.
But Matt Green, I would write some songs and he would really push me to sing. And I'd be like, dude, I can't sing. He's like, just grow some balls, dude. Sing that song, dude. You got to just let it rip, you know? And I don't know. Every time, every practice, he would just force it on me, you know, like trial by fire or whatever, and kept pushing me to do it. And even to this day, I still just think, you know, what he'd say to me, you know, like just you just got to do it, man. No looking back. So
yeah, well, look at that. You recorded a whole record of you singing on every song, and
right. Even on that record, I wanted somebody else to sing. My original plan was to have like Nick sing. You know, the singers on it are Nick, Chris Willie, and Sarah Landing, who, oh my God, I don't know if you heard her sing, but she's amazing. And I originally was like, I'll write all the lyrics and have them sing the songs, you know? And the guy recording it, Adam White, was like, no, dude, we can't do it like that. You got to sing your own songs. He's like, it's going to take you forever to try to have somebody else sing these in the same cadence and same beat, you know? And
right.
If it's your song, people want to hear your voice, you know? And then also, you kind of told me that everybody thinks their voice sucks, you know, and so
it took a long time for me to like listen back to this show, like not hate it. Like, you know, it's like
right.
You start hearing and then just same thing as a vocalist singing, like you hear every little imperfection and stuff, and it's like,
man.
But
my worst thing is when I get nervous, my voice starts shaking and stuff, and and other people might not hear it, but you can, you know, you yourself can hear it, or you know,
sure.
Hear when your voice rises or gets deep, and you're like, oh, that's so weird. I hate it.
I had somebody like, you say and a lot, and I'm like, you don't think I hear that shit? Like, you know, I was like,
right.
I'm trying, man.
Yeah, man.
It's
I
hard.
gotta think of questions. I gotta keep the conversation rolling, dude. There's gotta be like an and or in there sometime.
I'm just like, I'm no pro, you know, I'm just a good dude. So
yeah, man, just a dude with a microphone.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned your job as working custodial, and I think that might be a good introduction.
Best job I ever had.
Yeah, let's talk about a track employment history. Is this based on a true story?
A lot of it is.
Yeah.
There are some parts that are made up just to make words rhyme.
Yeah.
And to help carry the song along. And I won't tell you which ones. You'll have to decipher them for yourself, you know. keep the listener guessing.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you know, a lot of it's true.
All right.
Which is kind of embarrassing in a way. I don't want people to think I'm a bad employee by any means.
All right.
But, and I even try to like bring that back in the end of the song, you know, like, you know, I know it's a lot of jobs and I'm not a guy who just quits on a job and stuff like that, but I just been working a lot, dude. I started working early and as much as I could, you know, and well, I was a janitor at a nursing home. I used to take out the trash and mop all the floors. It's the best damn job that I ever had. It's like 100 grandmoms and 100 granddads. The first job I had, I was working on a farm. I was shoveling hay with my tiny little arms. $5 an hour till I said, oh please. I went to Mickey D's and made $5.15. They call that an increase. So I got me a job working at Kmart. I was stocking shelves and pushing carts. I got a dishwasher job at a local buffet where I found all you can eat is actually not that great. So I thought I'd scope chicks, maybe give me a tan. I got a lifeguard job at the Six Flags. It was pretty dang cool, man. I got to test out the rides, but then this girl got hurt going down my slide. She was okay though. Just something that happened on my watch, on top of some other shit that had already happened on my watch. Well, I've had name tags, I've had hairnets, I've had 401ks, resumes, jobs in the day, jobs in the night. I've had bosses I've hated and bosses I've liked, but the only job I've ever liked to do is go to the bar and play a couple of tunes for you. Was hoping maybe me and the band, we might get paid, and our bar tab won't be more than the money we make. Alright. Insert guitar solo here. I worked at 3 different emos singing pizza pies. I worked at 2 different Subways with the exact same guys. I worked at the car wash with the drummer from our band, where I saw him get fired, quit, and get fired again. I used to sling boxes at UPS, and get this, man, I even worked for FedEx. Purple or brown, I was never torn, because at Home Depot, baby, they make you wear orange. Well, I climbed cell phone towers driving out of state, and at the country club is where I used to valet. I had me a job in industrial supply, then I'd go and watch parking garages at night, and I was at a drug company counting out drugs. When one day I got fired, I tested positive for drugs. As fate would have it, it was just my luck. I got a job with a company that tests people for drugs. Ridiculous, man. Circumstance, I suppose. If you can't beat them, you know, you gotta join them, I guess. I've had my name tags, had my head nets, I've had 401ks, resumes, jobs in the day, jobs in the night. I've had bosses I've hated and bosses I've liked, but the only job I've ever liked to do is go to the bar and play a couple of tunes for you. I was hoping maybe me and the band, we might get paid, and our bar tab won't be more than the money we make. Yep. Well, I know it seems like a lot, baby, that's because it is. But you need to understand, I've had 2 or 3 jobs at a time since I was a kid. That's not to mention them jobs where they only pay straight cash. You know, under the table's pretty cool, man. You ain't got to pay no tax. I've done some roofing, basement waterproofing, digging holes by the bunch and carrying boxes up and down stairs in a couple different types of construction. I've done some door-to-door sales, walking around town. I've planted some trees and I've chopped some down. I stand in a parking lot waving a flag, and you can bet your bottom dollar that I used to cut grass, and now I got me a job, and I hope that I can stay long. And I pray to the Lord up above that they never ever hear this song. I've had my name tags in my head nets, had 401ks and resumes, jobs in the day, jobs in the night. I've had bosses I've hated and bosses I've liked, but the only job I've ever liked to do is go to the bar and play a couple of tunes for you. I was hoping maybe me and the band, we might get paid, and our bar tab won't be more than the money we make. Until then, just get up in the morning, go to work and try not to complain. Just get up in the morning, go to work and try not to complain.
I'm with you. Like, I've had, I mean, pretty much since 16, started working, and then, like, I think basically since 18, I've had 2 jobs for the most part of those, you know, until COVID. So, like,
same here, dude. I had 2 jobs most of my adult life until just a couple years ago.
Right. I got furloughed from the bar, and that was my last second job was working at Broadway Oyster Bar, and when COVID shut the bar down and everything, and then I was like, hey, this is kind of nice having a little free time and not working 2 jobs all the time. So
when I didn't have 2 jobs is when I got a chance to record the record.
Yeah.
I wasn't working nights and weekends anymore. And I
Yeah.
was like, dude, I got to do something with my time, you know?
Yep. Yeah. So I was at one point I was trying to juggle 2 jobs, being married,
I know it.
doing the podcast a couple times a week sometimes, and going to concerts.
Yeah,
and,
still trying to have an outside life.
Right. I was like, I just tell people like, how you doing? I'm like, well, I just cut out sleeping, so that like that really opens up a lot of free time. So
Dude, that is hard for me. I love sleep, man. I might have like a greater affection for it now that I don't get any sleep, but I really think that's how me and my wife fell in love. We'd go out and like party, go on dates, and spend the next day, and we would both just sleep. We'd wake up, go get some food, and then just sleep, and I'd be like, she's the one for me.
yeah.
She gets it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. She also is that her on the record also?
She has a speaking part on
Right.
Speechless. I tried to get her to do more. She's real self-conscious of her voice too. I guess everybody is or whatever, but she's always like, I can't sing. But she gave it away because like 2 years ago on Halloween, maybe somebody had a karaoke machine and she had some drinks in her and she grabbed that mic and just sang. And I swear to God, dude, I've like floored, dude. I stopped dead in my tracks. I'm like, this girl's been lying to me the whole time. She sings like an angel. She really does, man. I'm real pitchy, dude. I can't hit keys or pitches or anything. And she was just nailing it. And so when the record came along, I'm like, I know you can sing. I know you can. Don't lie to me about this. But she didn't want to do it. So
Yeah.
I got her to do a speaking part. And, she's actually been real helpful with the whole thing, from the album cover to we just shot a video last weekend. She helped come up with the plot and everything. So
All right.
she's definitely the brains behind the operation, as I'm sure every wife is to most,
Right.
guys.
Yeah, man. Well, big shout out to her for sure,
Yeah.
and her continued support.
Right. Date night tonight.
Yeah, man. And we
Yeah.
got to wrap this up and get out to date night.
Right. Well, I got to thank Shane, he's let me do this earlier in the day so we can have date night.
Yep.
It's very kind.
Yeah, I'm happy to help support. I know date nights. I know date nights are very important. I mean, like I said, it's a big part of my life too. Like you got to find, make time and to balance all your priorities and stuff. It's like, and that's always been one for me. Like making sure we have plenty of time to go out and have fun together and stuff too, and not just always work all the time. So
Right.
but yeah, man, I was thinking about karaoke, and I feel like a lot of that the same way. Like, I don't think I'm myself as like a singer at all. Like,
Dude, I will not karaoke, man.
and
I feel like I'm so bad.
we went out one night. It was a friend's bachelor party.
They get you up there?
I went so it was actually it was a joint bachelor party, and so like me and my wife were all there.
Did you guys do a duet?
And yeah, so I did.
It was coming.
Well, I did Bob Seger's Night Moves, and she
baby.
she did all the chorus parts with me, and it was. But I had somebody actually like come up and like, man, you sound so good on there. Like, I'm like, what the like, get out of here. Like, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, like, I think I could sound okay, but as far as like going to act like I sound like Bob Seger singing it, you're out of your mind. Like, it's
Yeah.
like.
Dude.
I sound probably good enough for drunk people listening to karaoke. So
Right. There was one time we played a show with your new favorite T-shirt at Old Rock House. It was like exactly 1 year ago, last August or whatever. And this kid came up to me, and he was young, he was maybe 20 years old. He's like, "Dude, you sound just like Bob Seger." And I was like, "You're out of your mind, kid."
Right.
First of all, I don't know if you know too many Bob Seger songs, but I'll take it, man. If you think that, dude, thank you. That's very nice of you. Like,
right,
it's hard to believe, but whatever, man. You got to take what you can get.
yeah,
Dude, it's a hard life.
right. Oh yeah, it's a long and lonesome road.
Oh, no, you
Yeah.
didn't.
It's-
Dude, we played Night Moves with Nick and the Coyotes, dude.
It's a great song.
Oh, dude, the crowd loves it. Nick play it every time because we've done it quite a bit. We even did it in Moon Glampers quite a bit. But Sean always calls it like it's the cougar getter or whatever because I guess every time we play it, dude, all the older gals in the crowd, get up and start dancing. Dude, it's a good one to get people up and moving,
Yeah. I always think of like when I think of that, like my buddy Josh had a joke about young guys like going out to clubs and stuff, and he's like, man, forget that. I like cougars. I'm going to Starbucks, or I'm going to Target. It's like
right.
And stuff like that. So it always cracked me up.
Yeah, you got to be careful at Target, man.
Yeah,
there's a lot going on there.
All right. Let's talk about another tune, man. You mentioned biscuits and gravy, which you said might have been. Well, so that was
biscuits and gravy.
So was that where it started? I mean, like you were saying, you were so nervous about that recording that video and stuff. Like, was that kind of where some of this idea, like, hey, maybe I can actually put together a record, or?
Yeah, kind of, man. Well, I had the idea for a record for a long time. And then in 2019, one of my best friends, Brian Kennedy, he passed away suddenly from like a very rare brain disease. And it just got me thinking. And then like at the same time, COVID happened next in 2020. And I was just thinking like, dude, life is short, man. And even though you're scared and nervous about things, if you got something, you just got to let it out, let it rip. Otherwise, who knows, dude, you could be gone any second, And my friend Brian, he had a book that he was writing, and he was an incredible songwriter. One of the most talented dudes I ever met, and I just think all the stuff that he left unfinished. And he was also the kind of guy that would just get up and do anything, man. He was not scared of anything. And so I had always thought about doing my own record, like a dream. And then he passed, and then I kind of got serious right after that. Like seriously thinking about it. And one day I just wrote Biscuits and Gravy. Like Lauren had made this bomb ass biscuits and gravy casserole. And she left, and I was just playing around on the piano, and I started singing it. And it was at the same time COVID was happening. So then some of those COVID lyrics came in there, and I was like, dude, I think that's pretty good. I don't know for sure if it's good, but fuck it, dude. I'm just gonna let it ride. Let's see if anybody likes it. And a few people reached out to me like, dude, you should record that. And I was like, well, I was thinking about recording it, and I didn't have a second job at the time anymore, just working one full-time job. And I was getting paid more than I had at any previous job before. Oh, and a big thing about it was I had got rear-ended in a car accident in like 2018, just smashed, and I ended up getting some settlement money out of it. So I was like, dude, all the signs are pointing to just let it ride, and go ahead and do it. So, and the studio so I started looking up studios. I was like, I'll find a studio that I can go to. And I found Red Pill Studios, and it's on Hampton and Nottingham, and I live off Nottingham, and it's in my alley.
Yeah.
It's 1 block away. Every night it was like, I'd go down there once a week and just walk down there and do it. I was like, dude, this is fate. I have to do it.
Yeah.
And I was kind of nervous about doing Biscuits and Gravy because I was like, dude, there's a lot of COVID references in there. And I was like, well, COVID's probably not going to last that long. And then it just kept dragging on.
All right.
So I was like, well, it's a pretty good song. I should probably just put it in there, And once Sarah started singing on it and Nick sang on it too, I was like, dude, this song. And Garrett played guitar on it. I was like, this song's badass. It's got to be on there.
Yeah. I gave it the first listen the other night when after it came out, and I laughed real hard when Sarah sang I need your gravy, baby.
I need your gravy.
Yeah,
I need your gravy, baby.
Yeah, I was just like, man, that's so funny. Like, I was just thinking of, because, well,
I said, no, she didn't. She did not just say that.
I mean, it works, but it's just also like, if you would have ever asked her, like, hey, do you ever imagine that you would sing about gravy, like, and that how much you needed it? Like, I was like,
don't forget your biscuits and your gravy. We gonna lock it down, call it quarantine. Don't forget your biscuits, pretty lady. so delicious. Now don't forget your biscuits and your gravy. All right. We can't forget that dog food for our puppy. We can't forget the blues. I ain't trying to cry. We can't forget that password to our Netflix. Gonna watch that Tiger King about 15 times. Don't forget your biscuits and your gravy. We gonna lock it down, call it quarantine. Don't forget your biscuits and your gravy. Just one bite is all I ever need. Something about this virus seems suspicious. But goddamn, girl, your biscuits so delicious. Now don't forget your biscuits and your gravy.
And your gravy, baby. Hey, yeah, your gravy now. I need your biscuits and gravy.
Now I don't think that this virus will last for too long. We as a people gonna find a way to get it right. But if we're gonna be locked up in the house for too long, I'm eating breakfast for dinner every single night. Now don't forget your biscuits and your gravy.
And your gravy.
We gonna lock it down, call it quarantine. Don't forget your biscuits, pretty lady. Just one bite is all I ever need. Now something about this virus seems suspicious. But goddamn, girl,
Your biscuits so delicious.
don't forget your biscuits and your gravy.
And your gravy, baby.
Don't forget your biscuits and your gravy.
I need your gravy.
Don't forget your biscuits and your gravy. Don't forget your biscuits and your gravy. Don't forget your biscuits.
Need your gravy,
Don't forget your biscuits.
biscuits and gravy.
Don't forget your biscuits and your gravy.
Dude, I did not ask her to sing that. She was like, I've never recorded in the studio before, and she was real nervous about it, and she just stepped in like a fucking champ, man. She got in there, and she sang all the, the things we asked her to sing, the verses and choruses, no problem. And then we're like, hey, do this like a, I forget what we called it, like a spare track or a laugh track or whatever, just a improvs, just sing whatever comes to your mind, shout that shit out. And and she said that, and me and the guy and Adam White who recorded it, dude, we fell down on the ground laughing, like,
Right.
holy shit, for being somebody who's like, oh, I'm nervous, I've never done this before, dude. She fucking came in, dude, funny, singing great, dude. I was just like, and after that, I asked her to come back, and I think she sang on 8 or 9 of all the songs, dude. She was so good. She can switch from like a soulful, funky voice to a country voice or rock voice, dude. She could do it all. Shout out to Sarah Landing. She plays in the lowercase G's, and they play like every weekend at your bars out in Jeff County. If you
All right.
got some time to go see them.
Yeah. That was the first I heard her name, and I was very impressed. It sounded really nice. So
Yeah, man.
But yeah, the record, All Seriousness Aside, is now available wherever you get your digital music at, under Tony M Hall.
Yeah, I had to throw that middle initial in there.
Yep.
Like I told you, a lot of Tony Halls around.
Yeah. So if you having trouble, look it up for the album name and stuff, and you'll pop right up. So
Yeah.
but yeah, you mentioned you had a lot of great help. Many of the Coyotes joined you in studio, and
Yeah.
and
Garrett Ranji, Nigel Solomon, Sean Camry fiddled on a ton of them. Nick Gusman sang and played harmonica on a ton. Ed Doggs played drums on 10 out of the 11 tracks. Yeah, man, I hope I'm not forgetting anybody all of a sudden. Michael Eisenbeis, he's a guitar player in Find a Drive.
Oh, yeah.
You know him?
Yeah, Michael's a good friend of mine. Yeah.
I had just, Adam told me one day, he's like, yeah, I got this guy, Michael. He'll come in and play a couple songs. And it was down to the last minute, and I couldn't really get anybody else in. So I was like, yeah, have him come in. And I didn't know who he was, but now I know. And I was like, dude, this guy's awesome, man.
Yeah, he's a real deal, man. He's
the real deal, man. He sat down and just started coming up with stuff, and I was like, oh my God, man, Michael, thank you.
Yeah. Find a Drive, and then he also has a group called Whiskey Morning, and those are kind of more country stuff, but he also plays with Hard Promises, a Tom Petty tribute.
Yes, that's right. And I think Adam might play drums in that band sometimes. Okay. I think that's how they knew each other.
Yeah, and he, but he's also like, set in with El Monstero and stuff. And like, he does a lot of cool stuff for sure. He's a very, very talented guy.
Yeah. And then I got to give a shout out to, my best friend growing up, Chris Willie. He, I pretty much owe like a lot of my musical ability to Chris. Dude, we grew up together playing and singing and stuff. And he came and sang on 4 songs. And if I could have had him sing on all of them, I would have, because he's a great singer too, man. And a great writer, dude. Chris can write some really good songs, real funny songs, and he's been floating around the idea of doing his own record too, because if he did, people would really like it, because he's great, man. Great singer, great performer. I mean, he's what they call it, the whole package or whatever. So
yeah. Shout out to all them. Big help bringing this together, making this album come to life, man.
Yeah, man. It really took a lot of help for real.
Yeah.
And I needed every bit of it. Like, you should hear some of the tracks when I first walked in there, and I just did them to a metronome, and just me playing acoustic. And then when you hear just the acoustic with the metronome, and then you hear what they are now, I mean, it's night and day. Thank God for studio magic, Adam could like tune up my vocals on some parts and stuff too, and dude, just shout out to Adam White too, man. If anybody needs any recording or anything like that, dude, Red Pill Studios, Adam White, Big Bang Recording. This dude guided me like I was his son, like he was the captain of the ship, and he took me under his arms, and he fucking very nice dude, but also not too nice where he would just let you do something stupid, dude. He's a drummer, so I tried to play bass on. I did play bass on all the record because I could play bass, but dude, he wouldn't take nothing. He wouldn't take anything that was like less than standard or less than good. He made sure I got stuff right, and he kind of was the same way with everybody else too. He's like, let's do it again, let's get it right. He forced me to sing all my own songs, dude. He really helped a lot.
Yeah. So you sang bass and
acoustic guitar and keyboards.
All right.
Yeah.
So you're very very involved in all this.
Yeah. I tried a couple days to lay down guitar solos, and I was like, what am I doing here, dude? I know Garrett Ranji. Yeah, right. I know Nigel Solomon. Let's get some professionals in here.
Yeah, those guys are pretty good.
Yeah, I wanted to get Baxter, Jacob Baxter and Matt Maher. Like, that was a dream of mine, but it's just a time thing, And
next record for sure.
Next record, dude. That'd be so awesome to have those dudes come in.
Yeah. Yeah, we're pretty blessed, man. We have a lot of really talented friends around here.
Dude, we do have a lot of really talented friends. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know if we're just biased because you see it all the time, but I see bands like Yard Eagle and Old Capitol and,
Oh, yeah. I mean, I
Brother Francis, dude, and I'm like, oh my God, dude, how is St. Louis not just blowing up on the music scene? I mean, there's so much. I'll go to somewhere on a random night and see a band, and I'm like, oh my God, man, these guys are so good. Like, it's everywhere, man. Old Souls Revival. I mean,
yeah,
dude. I mean, I was thinking that I started trying to do this recently. I just put a playlist together of all of my favorite local bands that I like.
Right.
And I told somebody about it, and they're like, dude, you know who should do that? Shane should do that, because he's got his thumb on every local band. He probably knows the best ones, dude. You could probably put together a killer playlist.
Yeah.
You probably already have.
Maybe. There's I do have a playlist of like everybody that's been on the show.
Nice.
On Spotify and stuff. So it's like, if you want to go,
Manis Brothers.
if you want to go on a ride, that's a playlist, man. Like it's obviously almost 1,000 of these episodes, and like
1,000 episodes.
So there's a lot of different variety of sounds coming through, and so I try to include like a song or two from everybody that's been on the show. That it's sometimes I put it on and it's what's funny is like some of those bands aren't even bands anymore, you know?
Yeah, I know.
So it's like I kind of forget about them a little bit because you haven't seen them out playing. So then I'm like, something comes up on that playlist. I'm like, man, who the hell is this? And I'm like, I have to look, because I'm like, oh yeah, man, I forgot about how good this stuff is. And like,
right.
Which is, it's a shame that happens, but yeah, it's like, it does happen. Bands fizzle sometimes and dissolve and move into, like I said, you've even done it firsthand, moved into other projects and stuff. And
we actually have a Moon Glampers record. We recorded the whole thing with Zach Gibbons, I guess, who's running Phat Buddha now.
Right.
Recorded the whole thing, and it's done. It's mastered. And right at the same time that it got mastered is like right when Moon Glampers fizzled out. And so we never released it. So it's just sitting there. I have it on Dropbox. Like me and Nick, every time we see each other, we're like, yeah, we should just release it. We just got to get it out there, because it's a lot of good songs, man. And we just haven't done it yet. But it makes me sad when I think about that.
Yeah. We were actually, a conversation just came up earlier today with somebody else, and was like, they have a record just been sitting in a folder, like it's all done. It's been for like a couple of years, and like, so the same kind of thing. And they were just like, probably just put it out there.
Yeah, put it out there, man. It can't hurt nothing. And then you grow up and listen to it when you're older, man. Show your kids. That's a huge thing about also doing a record, man. I was like, dude, it'd be so cool. Like, I could tell my sons that I was in a band my whole life, and they'd be like, oh, cool, Dad played music in a band, I don't know what he did, but I was like, if I had a record that I could show these little kids, they probably won't think it's that cool, but they might, they could at least see there's like some physical evidence of it happening. I was like, that would be pretty dope, yo.
Yeah. Well, they're pretty young still now, right? So
yeah, one is almost 2, Henry's almost 2, and Everett just turned 2 months old.
Yeah.
So we are not sleeping at all.
Right.
No.
But man, it's exciting to think about like you're saying, that future though, like, maybe if they're interested in music and stuff, and
Henry's already killing it on the piano, dude.
Oh yeah.
He loves guitar, man. Every time like he's comes to a couple of shows, and Lauren will tell me, it's like, dude, he just locks in on Nick playing guitar, and any guitar player, Garrett too, like anybody who's playing guitar, he locks in.
All right.
Yeah, he's got a couple of his own little kid guitars too, but he pretty much just picks them up and bashes them on the ground like a rock star or something. He just likes to break shit.
I follow this kid on Instagram, little bitty dude. I forget how old he is, but he's up there singing his songs, man, and it's like, it's impressive that he's like, whatever, 5, I don't know, whatever, but he's out playing and singing and stuff, and there some of that is kind of a novelty, like it's the cute kid with a guitar kind of thing,
right.
But when you start like realizing like, hey, there's actually something here, like, and it's cool to see like them actually chasing that dream too, and developing it and putting in the work and stuff, and not just so it's exciting to see, man.
Yeah, it is. It's something that I wish I would have done as a kid, even as a teenager playing in punk bands, instead of just wanting to party all the time and rock as hard as I could and whip my hair around and shit, it's like, it'd been cool to actually, maybe if I would have like learned some music theory and stuff, and kind of, took it serious at the time. But
yeah,
it's really cool to see little kids already have it, already have that talent. And you're like, wow, man.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can stick with it, and hopefully they still love it, And
sure. Yeah, man. Well, I just think that'd be fun, man, to have like the the Tony Hall family band or something someday.
Oh,
or
dude,
something.
it's
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get them boys playing.
Yeah. I've told it a bunch of times on here, but that's a lot of like, you know, my early memories. I can recall a lot of like Saturday, Sunday morning kind of stuff, like with Dad. And Dad played a little bit. It was never like, you know, really in a band or anything. He would jam every now and then with people and sit in, like play harmonica with some friends, and dabbled a little bit with electric guitar. We had a piano at the house that he got from his brother, and probably had him in tune in forever. But he would like walk by and he would always just do the, you know, like and do the old time rock and roll, and
Yeah, man.
and that was about it. And but he we would, you know, like I said, I have memories of like us joking about having the family band, what him and me and my brother, and we would be like singing Ozark Mountain Daredevils and stuff. That's the one that always like kind of comes to mind for some
Is
reason.
that like ooh Jackie Blue? Is that them?
Hell yeah, that's them. Yeah, Jackie Blue and if you want to get to heaven, gotta raise a little hell.
Yeah, man.
But the memory, like the video, you know, the vivid part of that memory is I always think about is, well, I've been standing on a rock, just waiting for my seeds to grow. And it's like,
Shane, you got a pretty good scene, dude. You quit messing around, dude. I see why they said that.
I can
You
mimic.
sing good.
I feel like I can mimic people pretty well. I can like.
Can you do accents?
No, not really that too much. But like, I feel like I feel like I can. I mean, maybe I can make up like fake ones. I think. But,
Like, where is that?
Yeah.
Like, you'll never know. You'll never know.
right. But yeah. Anyway, but those were some good times, man. I had a lot of fun back in the day playing some music around. It's nothing I ever, you know, really pursued, but those were fun memories and stuff hanging with Dad. So
Yeah, and it obviously stuck, you know?
for sure, yeah,
Fucking
yeah. I wish I would have like
turned into a passion of yours, you
yeah,
know?
yeah. I grew all of that. That's where it all started. Mom and Dad playing music for me all the time. It's like something and that's what it meant. Like that was really cool about all the stuff. Once Mom retired, we started going to a ton of shows together and things. And she, you know, Nick and the Coyotes were one of her favorites to come see and stuff. And so, you know, it was cool to get you guys involved in the dub stock and stuff. And
Oh, yeah, man.
so it was cool that it all came full circle
Yeah.
and stuff. But yeah, let's talk about one more track we wanted to share in here. And this kicks off the record, and a song called Kicking the Night.
Kicking the Night. Yeah,
And this
man.
is just it's like impossible to like sit still and not smile listening to this song. I mean, it's just like a lot of fun. And
Baby, we can get it kicking tonight. You know that we can get it kicking tonight. You know that we can get to kicking it. If you think you're feeling it, well, if you think you're feeling it, then we can get it kicking tonight. Well, it's impossible not to know what you're gonna do when you walk in the door. The first thing, baby, you always wanna do, you're gonna hop on my body like a kangaroo. You're gonna rip and tear up the living room, acting like a goat up at the petting zoo. And I'm that little kid who's got a pocket full of food. Like, goddamn goat, what you trying to do? You cut loose, cut loose. When my baby gets home, she needs to cut loose, cut loose, cut loose, cut loose, cut loose. When my baby gets home, she gonna break all the rules like a teenager huffing on glue, like a marathon runner that don't wear no shoes, like an astronaut going up to the moon, gonna step off the ship but don't wear no suit. Like, I think that you've gone crazy, I still love you, baby. It don't matter what happens after, I got to have you. We can get it kicking tonight. We can get it kicking tonight. We can get to kicking it if you think you're feeling it. If you think you're feeling it, then we can get it kicking tonight. I've got your number saved up in my telephone. I call you up, baby girl, when I feel alone, and I will go go to AutoZone, get me some car parts. I gotta get to your place and make sure my car starts. Ooh, I'll be driving in the fast lane, faster than a cheetah that's been sniffing on the cocaine. Hold up, I don't care if it's a long drive. I gotta get you, honey, gotta get up in your beehive. Work, you gotta do the work, baby, work, work. You gotta do the work, baby, work, work. You gotta do the work, gotta work that body till your body hurts, hey. And I'ma treat you real nice. I crawl up in your sheets, call me headlights. Wait, hold up, don't you mean bed bugs? I don't even care, man, I'm singing about true love. We can get it kicking tonight. We can get it kicking tonight. We can get the kicking it if you think you're feeling it. If you think you're feeling it, then we can get it kicking tonight. Baby, we can get it kicking tonight. Know that we can get it kicking tonight. You know that we can get the kick in it. If you think you're feeling it, well, if you think you're feeling it, then we can get it kicking tonight.
Obviously, what the title, you know, like all seriousness aside, like, you know, you're getting into some silly stuff, and
Right.
but this is just like, you know, kind of, I felt it was a good opening track to kind of get everybody feeling right and stuff. And
You think it's a good opener?
yeah, man.
I honestly, God, I debated on it for a long
Yeah.
time, you know. I thought about the album name for a long time, you know. A lot of, but yeah, that song really took a funny shape, you know. It started out, I just played it on a ukulele one day, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's kind of fun. And I played it for Lauren, at least like a verse or so, and she's like, dude, please do not ever show anybody that. I was like, damn, dude, it must be good.
It's going on the record.
Right.
Yeah.
And, yeah, man, we did it, and Adam White actually played the drums to it, and Garrett played that funky guitar, and Adam had me doing some weird like clav stuff on the keyboards.
I was gonna say, it definitely kind of like gives a little island kind of feel, or something like that, and you know, like a little I don't know exactly how to say it, but like,
dude, I don't know how to describe it
Yeah.
either, man. It's a weird song, but it's fun, dude. And
yeah,
I thought that it was gonna be a good song because when I got Nick in, Nick actually sings a little bit on it, the bed bugs part. And you know, I could tell that it was a good song by how much he liked it. He kept saying how much he liked it. So I was like, dude, maybe it's pretty good. Maybe it should be #1 song, you know, to start things off right, you know.
yeah. It's just like I said, it's fun and funny and makes you smile. And
Did you know how we got that new soccer team coming? I was like,
Yeah.
what if I try to sell it to the soccer team, you know, get it kicking tonight?
Yeah, right.
They're like, you know, warming up, kicking balls around.
yeah,
You know, it's like, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But then there's like also bad words in it, so maybe it
All right.
wouldn't work.
yeah.
And then we just did a video for it with James Jackson, the man.
Oh yeah.
And the video does not have any kind of like kicking references, but I will not lie and say that I did not think about having the whole video be just like kicking shit, karate kicks,
Yeah.
kicking soccer balls, dude, kicking
Yeah.
football, just kicking everything.
What's like what's Roxette or whatever, or what's those dancers?
Oh,
The Rockettes, isn't it?
yeah, the Rockets, dude.
Yeah.
I wanted to get everybody together in a line and do that.
Yeah.
It didn't happen, but I mean, that would have been fucking cool.
Right. Yeah. Just all kinds of montage of kicks.
A montage of
Yeah.
kicks, baby, dude. I was like, that's
Yeah.
really what it should have been, you know. But you know, people would have pulled hamstrings, and,
All right.
you know,
Yeah.
maybe ripped pants or something. You know,
Yeah.
it would have been hard to do. But the video, I think, is going to be really cool. It should be out pretty soon. I think James just has to edit it, and I think it's pretty funny, man.
Yeah.
I think so.
I can't wait to see him, man. Anything James is involved in, I'm sure it's going to be great because he's a really talented guy.
But yeah, he did Nick's video, and that's how I met him, you know, Natchez Queen. And he's very professional, which, you know, I kind of need to, like, because I don't know what I'm doing. And it's nice to have somebody keep people in line. And, you know, but also very creative at the same time, and also just a super cool dude. So he You know, he's got a lot of good ideas, and he lets you do your ideas too. Nothing's like off limits, so it was really fun.
Yeah.
I'd like to do more, man. It'd be cool. Video is such like a huge part of people's content nowadays. You know, it's almost like you should do as many videos as you possibly can.
Yeah, I mean, I got a lot of friends that are like trying to push that. Like we're almost like a music video for every song they do and stuff. Like just because, you know, space out like a record where it's more like a year-long process or whatever, you know, it's like kind of thing, and then release like all, you know, as many videos as you can as singles kind of thing. It's like, because that's how most people are receiving their, you know, their media today is, you know, through whether it's Facebook or Instagram or whatever, it's all video or
dude, TikTok,
content.
dude.
Yeah,
Everybody wants to
TikTok,
see a video, you know.
So yeah, I agree. It's just, and then hopefully, you know, then you got YouTube, of course, and everything is, all of it. But yeah, you know, so
I got a TikTok the other day. My first, you know, I just signed up like 2 weeks ago, right when the album released, because it said that it releases the music to TikTok, and I was like, and I've been putting it off for a while because I was like, dude, I know it sucks people in because you just want to watch it, and
I
was like, I'm not gonna do it, you know. I did the same thing with Facebook when it first came out. I was like, dude, I'm not signing up for that. I can't be wasting time on that stuff, and eventually, obviously, caved in. But it was pretty cool to like see that you could pick one of my songs and make a TikTok out of it. Dude, maybe I should make a kicking, you know, like having people kicking shit, like a TikTok video. Or maybe like have somebody making biscuits and gravy and do a TikTok for. Have Lauren make that biscuits and gravy casserole.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, man.
Have her wear something real sexy. That's what the people want, right?
When I also laughed.
Baby.
Yes. I'm sorry. I was also laughing because that song reminded me of Al Holiday.
Oh, dude, he's the man.
Oh, yeah. It's bad, dude. But he's got a song, I eat more cornbread.
Oh, yeah. I know it.
And like, I'm just like, just made me laugh. You guys singing about, you know, your food and stuff, you know, biscuits and gravy and cornbread. And everything.
Dude, it's something everybody can relate to.
Oh,
man.
yeah. But, yeah, I just, that's one of my favorites for sure from Al. Yeah, just that popped up in my mind. I was like, just makes me laugh, these food songs.
Yeah, I was going to get piano lessons from Al. Like, Nick had set it up, you know. He kind of introduced us, and it never happened. But, man, I would have loved to just sit down with that dude and, man, pick his brain. Because, I mean, he is right up my alley on what I like, man. I really dig the Americana and country stuff. Obviously, I love it. But I really love, like, funk and soul music too, man. Like that shit hits, you know. Yeah, he's just a encyclopedia, man. He's a wealth of knowledge. Yeah, man, rips. Alex Sinclair ripping with him too. Yeah, she's awesome. And he happens to be like one of the absolute nicest guys, like, you know, you could ever. He's a big sweetie. Like I don't know. I mean, he's got a special place in my heart, man. He came. Oh, that's your boy, huh? Yeah, he came to the hospital and played for Mom, like, really, while she was in there and stuff, and so yeah, dude, it was really cool, man. That's very nice. Yep, you know, didn't have to do any of that, but it was really sweet that he did, and so yeah, I mean, he's just a great person. Him and Emily are both his wife, and really really great. Dude, that's really nice, man. Make my heart swell up a little bit, you know, man. Yeah. Because I heard he was an asshole. Right. I mean, that's usually what. I'm just joking. That's usually what the story goes. Right. He don't want me ruin his image. Right, dude. He's trying to play hard, you know. Got a persona to keep up. I got street cred, man. Right. Yeah, so again, find All Seriousness Aside on wherever you're getting your music at, Tony M Hall, and you can find all the tunes, man. Yeah, should have some vinyls. They are ordered. Oh, no shit. It takes a while, you know, because of the vinyl shortage, but they are coming, and I'm going to get the Coyotes to back me up and do a release show eventually once they're here so I can sell them. The minimum you have to get is 250 of them. Well, slap my name on one. I got a pre-order for you. Fuck yeah, dude.
I'm still waiting on my
noticed.
Coyotes record too.
Oh, I know, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's on the way.
this vinyl shortage is like no joke, man.
Right.
It takes forever.
Yeah. Damn you, Adele.
Right. Dude, everybody's switching back to vinyl.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ins and outs and in between. You know the different situations call for different things. You can't paint us all with the same brush. You can't take too little, can't take too much. When you get off the boat and your legs feel funny, that song wasn't good, but it made a lot of money. It'd be nice. It sure be nice. Well, he's sitting at home watching TV, getting himself mad. And his wife's upstairs on her cell phone, making herself sad. Well, 25 years they've shared the same life, but they're always taking opposite sides. Well, you can't trust your TV, you can't trust your phone, but if you don't trust no one, you'll wind up alone. And it'd be nice if everything was cut and dry. It'd sure be nice if every situation was black or white. But there is a lot of gray over here, baby, there's a lot of gray over there. God damn, man, there's a lot of gray in my head. Well, they tell you from an early age you better pick a side. You best get with them boys on the left or them boys on the right. Or you could come and join me in the middle, and I'll tell Sean Camry to go and grab his fiddle, and we can stomp and clap our blues away, just a singing and a dancing till the end of the day. And it'd be nice, oh baby, it'd sure be nice. But sometimes I don't like looking into the mirror. You know the things that I'm seeing just a little too clear. But she said them gray hairs will make you wise. I said, what about these wrinkles next to my eyes? She said, those are the feet of the crow. You know, the more you smile, the more they grow. And it'd be nice if everything was cut and dry. And it'd sure be nice if every situation was black or white. But there is a lot of gray over here, there's a lot of gray over there. Holy shit, goddamn motherfucker, son of a bitch, there's a lot of gray in my head. Ian.
All right, I got a couple questions for you, Tony.
Okay.
Day comes along, we got a Tony Hall action figure. What would you like to see to your accessories to go with your action figure?
Oh man, a lot of muscles, you know, a skimpy outfit, you know, maybe like a Matt Basler type thing.
Yeah.
I don't know Matt that well, but I always hear he's rocking around in his underwear, which sounds awesome.
His little gold shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, dude, if accessories, you know, just obviously I'd like to have some really good long hair, you know, like Thor or some shit. Maybe some shades that like shoot lasers.
Oh yeah, now we're talking.
Maybe some kind of stick that shoots darts out of it. I don't know. You know, I don't know. I'd have to really think about it, but you know,
With a kick action.
yeah, dude, I'd like to. Whatever. Nunchucks, dude. I'd like to have some nunchucks, just like Michelangelo. He was my favorite Ninja Turtle as a kid. So.
All right. I'm just imagining one of those little buttons on your back that's like kicking a knight.
Dude, another scene in the video.
Yeah, there it is, man.
I might have to call James and have him cancel.
Yeah,
it.
James, go ahead and hit delete. We got
Reshoot.
All right. What would be a dream duet or collaboration for you for this thinking about your solo music and stuff? Is there do you obviously this is it's all fun and it has a kind of a playful side to it all, not you're not taking any of this very serious obviously, and then even in the title of the record. But do you like draw like inspiration from some of those other kind of comedian acts and stuff like that? Do those guys kind of come to mind? Or?
Yeah, man, Todd Snyder.
Yeah.
I mean, John Prine, dude. I mean, jeez.
Right. I do love that. Like obviously, can write a song and rip your heart out too, but there's always a funny side to it. There's a lot of the songs have comedic timing to it and stuff.
Yeah, man, it's witty, and it's just something about those guys, man, and I love it, dude. I got introduced to John Prine kind of late, kind of like I wish I would have been introduced as a kid. I love him, man.
Yeah, I got in way late also, but I'm fortunate that I got to actually see him live at Roots and Blues. I think it was like that was fall, and I think he passed that next spring or something like that.
Oh,
so
man.
like whatever. I think it was timing wise, something like that. But I'm fortunate enough that I got to actually witness a John Prine show.
Yeah, Lauren's father, Denny, he comes to a lot of Coyote shows. You may have seen him around. He's a great guy, and he asked me to go see John Prine one time, and it was like up in Chicago, and some shithead came up and I couldn't go, and then he passed a little bit afterwards, and I've been kicking myself about it ever since.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of harped on it earlier about taking the opportunity, living life and doing these things and stuff.
Dude, get it while you can, man.
That's always been a big one for me. Is like just try not to pass on concerts, because some of my favorites have passed before I could go to the show, or I passed on that one thinking they'll come back around next time and they don't. And it's like, and it's like, yeah, man, those stink, it's like so I try to go every time I can and try to celebrate some of my favorites.
Me too, man. Willie Nelson is another one I've never seen before, but I would love to see him, and I love his stuff.
Yeah.
And he comes around every so often too, and I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I not getting out there to that?
Yeah. Unfortunately, sometimes some of those greats come with a hefty price tag, but yeah, there's a
right.
So that's a hard, kind of hurts the budget when you got two babies at home, but
right.
So, but yeah.
As far as a duet, man, who would I like to have sing, man? Anybody
or collaborate. I mean, if you want. Just
man, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good Jacob Baxter, dude. I'd like to have him come sing.
Yeah, man. That'd be cool. Like I said, let's go ahead and get that studio session booked for the next record and get Jacob in there.
Man, no, I love Sarah. She obviously was wonderful, man, but there's something about girl singers, dude. I love. I'm trying to think of like my favorite one off the top of my head, but I'm like kind of blanking. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but some of my favorite bands like Murder by Death, dude. I love them, and Man. NoFX is what kind of I grew up on, dude. If I got Fat Mike to like even listen to a song, like that would be a dream come true. I thought about like, can you just send some of these people, your favorite musicians, your song, like over Instagram or Facebook, and be like, without coming off as like a dick or like,
listen to this.
Right. Do they get that all the time? I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. I've never been famous, so
I couldn't tell you.
That's one of my goals. Hopefully someday somebody will spam my email and with songs of you do.
Yeah, man. Shane, please give us a chance. Like, let me think about it.
Right.
What can you guys do for me?
Yeah. All right. We got the Tony Hall biopic coming out. Who would you like to see cast to play you in the movie version?
Oh shoot, man! Cast to play me. I guess some people have told me I look like Mark Ruffalo.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not.
Incredible
I don't know
Hulk?
who's a hot young Hollywood stud. Dude.
See if Chris Hemsworth available.
Yeah,
maybe.
Chris Hemsworth, Robert Pattinson, dude. I would like him to play me.
Yeah.
He grow a little beard out, gain a little weight, dude. He could do it. He'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
Seth Rogen might be all right. I don't know if he dyed his hair brown,
All right.
just grayish. he could do it.
Yeah. Somebody asked me like
Zac Efron.
turned it on me, and I was like, I think Zac.
You so gonna say Zac Efron?
I was gonna say somebody asked me about, and I said I think Seth Rogen could be a pretty good me.
Yeah, dude, he's just good funny, man. Like,
Right.
even if he doesn't really look like you, it'd be nice to have somebody funny do it. You know? Make people laugh.
Sure.
Hey.
Yeah, he's I just laugh listening to his laugh. I'm like,
Right?
Yeah.
That's infectious.
yeah. There was one time he was on Stern's show with Snoop Dogg, and they just smoked a bunch of weed and laughed the whole time, and it's some of the best radio ever. Like just listening to those guys telling stories and laughing, and like such an odd pairing too. Like the fact that like besides weed that brought them together, but like
Right.
but just like you wouldn't really expect those two to be just buddies. But it's funny listening to them talking and telling stories together and stuff.
Yeah, dude, I will be honest with you. I don't listen to a lot of podcasts because I try to consume as much music as humanly possible.
Yeah.
But Lauren listens to the Conan O'Brien podcast quite a bit.
Right.
And I heard Seth Rogen on that, and I was like, dude, that he's hilarious,
Yeah.
man. I love it, dude.
Yep. Funny guy.
Yeah.
Well, Tony, this has been super cool, man. And I really appreciate you spending the time with me. And a big shout out again to Phat Buddha for their hospitality, letting us record here today. And I can't wait, man, for these vinyls. I'm excited that had no idea you were planning this release party thing when that happened. So that'll be fun to hear these live and stuff. So
Yeah, dude, I'm pretty nervous about it, for real.
yeah,
I've never done like a solo show. I've done a couple songs by myself, always having a backup band, behind me, but never like the whole thing's on me.
right.
I'm going to come out in a costume or some shit, disguise, make me feel better.
Yeah. Well, at least you got your all your buddies behind you. They got your back, and
Yeah, and they're absolute shredders, so
yeah, a couple all stars, man, for sure.
yeah, I could just take some time off and maybe just let them take it over. But it should be fun, man, and yeah, the vinyl should be coming soon, and dude, thank you for having me. I mean,
Absolutely, man. I'm glad
this dream come true. I've never talked about myself this much before, and I was you probably knew I was kind of nervous coming in, but dude, mate, I feel comfortable now, man. I feel really good, man. You got a good way about you, dude. You can make somebody feel comfortable, and that's not an easy thing to do.
Well, I'll try my best. Maybe by 1,000 I'll get the hang of this thing. So,
Dude, what number is this? Is this $9.99?
maybe
No, it ain't, dude. Quit playing.
for you I'll make it 9.
Switch up the order
Right.
a little bit. Dude, thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you, Tony. It's been a lot of fun, man. Well, again, get plugged in and stream the tunes wherever you get your tune music, and add it to your favorite playlist. And but yeah, thanks, buddy. And I say we do it again soon.
Yeah, anytime, man. Thank you. For real.
Thank you, man.
Thanks to anybody listening.
Yeah. All right. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.